Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome back to Tuesday.
Welcome back telepathically to Tuesday.
Yes, exactly. Telepathically, you know it is a
It is
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Yes,
Yes.
it is Tuesday. We are ready and excited, and I'm all pumped about this subject.
Yes.
Yes.
Reading minds, telepathy, what it really is. And first and foremost, if you see us well and hear us well,
Tell
please
us.
confirm or forever hold your peace.
Yes, confirm
Yes.
because we need to know that you actually can hear us. We don't talk to ourselves, although we'd like to talk to ourselves.
Yeah, it's also nice.
It's
We
also
yeah,
yes.
we do it often. Okay.
Okay.
Aloha,
Hello,
Margaret. Hi,
Margaret.
Shaked.
Hi,
All right.
Shaket. Okay, how do you hear us? Do you hear us well?
Let us know, and then we'll kick right off. Very excited. Yes. Awesome. Yes, absolutely, Anna. So,
Excellent. Tell us just if you hear us well and if you see us well.
yeah.
What's the quality like?
Yeah. And it gives time for more people to join as they
Yes.
see that we are, in fact, live.
And as they see that as you tell them that you hear us well and
Yeah.
see us well, otherwise they will think, why should we
Exactly.
join?
Yes. Okay. Shaked said
Shaket,
yes.
yes.
Okay.
Okay,
So
good.
you are the go ahead. All right.
Okay, good.
Fantastic. So today's topic is about telepathy, which is quite an out there topic because it sounds very eccentric, kind of, rah-rah, or I don't know the right word, but it's like, oh, telepathy. Is it a real thing? And reading minds, it's like something superheroes can do. Or you think, what would you rather have? Would you rather heal your body or would you have telepathy? And people would say, I'd rather have telepathy. It's always this thing that is impossible to have, but superheroes have it. But we want to have it. And sometimes we feel like we do have it. Let's start with what is it? Yeah, because the one thing I want to add before you kick in is sometimes, a friend is calling you and you're like, I was just thinking of you. Or there are these moments when you finish somebody's sentence or whatever, and you feel like, oh, we had a little telepathic connection, but you still don't know what is it, and is that even telepathy? So that's the question. Let's start with what is telepathy?
Okay. So telepathy is moving or causing duplication without any physical means.
Okay, so what's duplication?
Is you've got an idea and I get you to have that idea without any physical mean.
Okay.
So it's not by telephone or cell phone or particles that moving, but without a physical mean.
Yeah.
So I cause a duplication without a physical mean.
Yes. Okay. So, okay. What does that mean?
So it means that if I want you, for example, to look at the chat and I cause you to look at the chat before I told you to look at the chat,
Yeah.
it happened without any physical mean. You cannot measure some kind of particles that goes between us.
Yes. Okay. Fine.
Okay, so you have all kind of situation in life that it's actually happening, but when it happened, you somehow invalidate it, and so you reduce it. So the question is really not if there is a telepathy, but the question is how do we suppress telepathy? The question is not is there telepathy, because a mother can know that something happened to her son without words.
True.
So the question is not is there a telepathy? The question is how do we suppress something that is so basic for the human spirit?
Amazing. Okay. That's an amazing question. Before we go to that, let's give a few more examples just to make it real of what are the day-to-day moments of telepathy, such as a mother just knows what her son wants or what happened, or
So how do you move your hand?
how do you move your hand? Yeah. Okay.
How do you move your hand? How do you move your hand? So you've got you, the spirit, and there's a brain, and there's a body. And if you take the spirit and you try to measure what give the command to the brain, there's nothing. It's like the brain is an entity of its own.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
what give the command to the brain?
right. And I understand that. That's a perfect point. But somebody might say, "Oh, my brain, it's just there is no spirit. I just
Not a problem.
there's a decision.
So what gives it a command to start?
There's a current that gets generated by the brain, from the brain.
Not a problem. So So there's a power station that generates electricity, but no electricity can be generated by itself. There need to be something before.
Yeah.
So there's something before, yes?
Yeah.
And what comes before the before?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
what comes before the before?
Yeah.
Mud all the way down, yes? It's,
Yes.
you know, the story of the mud, yes?
Yeah. 100%. It's an inside joke for those
So
who.
basically, the someone in all times, the Caesars in Rome came to all the very clever person and says, "Hey, we have Earth. What's holding Earth?" At that time, they thought that Earth is flat. There are some people that still think it's flat.
Yes.
So what's holding this thing in space? So they say, well, there is three very big elephants that holding the Earth. So he was happy for a few years, and then one day he had a cognition, and he said, yeah, one second. But what is those elephants standing on? So they went and they thought, and they told him mud. And he was quite happy with that. And then after a while, they came to him and said, okay, but the mud, what is it holding on? And they say, there's mud all the way down.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's because if you look at the brain, okay, so who gives the brain command? So who give the command to that command? Who give the command to that command? And you will get to the inevitable conclusion that what give the command to the brain cannot be the brain.
Yeah.
What give the command to the iPhone cannot be the iPhone.
Yes. Yes.
It's a programmer that put the commander
Yes.
and the user that use it.
Yes.
So once you realize that what gives the command to the brain is not the brain, it's quite obvious. So what gives the command to the brain? We cannot measure it. What is it? That thing that we cannot measure, but that bring about that give the command to the brain to send the hands a message, if it is actually coming from the brain, which is not, is telepathy. It's done by telepathy.
And that thing that does that is the spirit.
It's the spirit, yes.
And what if somebody says, but you can't measure it, I've never seen it. How do I know that there's a spirit? Because the whole subject of telepathy relies on this.
It's very simple. If you understand that the smallest number in this universe is 2, it means that anything in this universe is composed of 2s.
Yeah. 2. So just for anybody that's new, what does that mean? The smallest number is 2.
Yeah, the smallest number in this universe is 2 because there's nothing that composed from plus without minus. An atom is composed from electron and proton. There's nothing that stay alone in this universe. In order for something to be big, it must have something small. In order for something to be good, it must have bad. For plus, you need minus. There is nothing in this universe that stays alone because to have any value, you need something to compare to it. And 7 mean nothing.
Right. But
unless if it is silent 7.
Yeah, exactly. Tell that joke.
Okay. So there's this comedian that says that, in the English dictionary, in English language, there's a lot of silent words, which makes things complicated.
Silent letters.
Silent letter, yes. Like you say doubt, but you actually, if you read it, it's doubt.
Yeah, with a B, like that. But it's a silent B in doubt.
Yeah. And he says that he's very confused, and he's mainly confused because he doesn't understand why there is no silent number. Because, for example, if he owes $75 to someone and he can consider that 7 is silent, so he owes $5.
I know, that's a silent number. So it's a silent 7.
It's silent 7.
I love that. So whenever I explain that concept that you said, that there's 2s, inevitably somebody says, yes, but there's only one watch.
Not a problem, but the watch is composed of many, many, many 2. The watch is an idea. It's not a physical thing. The watch is an idea. Heart is an idea. This composite thing is an idea. But if you look what it's composed of, it's many, 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 many 2s.
Yeah, I see.
So there's an idea of this iPhone, yes?
Yeah.
But it's composed of 2. The iPhone is just an idea. It's a name that we give to something.
Right.
It's not actually something. An idea is not a physical thing.
Yes.
So in the physical universe, everything composed of 2s. And so we can say that physical, the definition of the word physical, is this thing that composed of 2s.
Yeah.
So something is anything that composed of 2, and nothing is anything that is not composed of 2. I'm not saying it's composed of 0 or 1 or 77. It's just not composed of 2.
Right.
So what creates the 2 cannot be 2. So the spiritual universe is this universe that do not compose of two, that has the ability to bring about two.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
And it's quite simple, yes?
That's simple. But so what would you answer if somebody said, yes, but I get the theory, but how do you know that there's a spiritual being?
I call there's no spiritual being, there's chakachuka. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
And this chakachuka is not composed of two, and it has the power to create two. You can call it Johnny, I don't care. Call it any name. You can want to call it Chupu, Chiki, Kiki, I don't care what's the name.
Yeah.
I just know that there's something that's not composed of two that bring about two.
Yeah. Yeah. I see.
Yes, because the only thing that can bring about something is nothing. This nothing is this thing that do not compose of two. I'm willing to take any name that anyone want to give it. I'm not so stuck on names.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, but if somebody said no, then the first two came from the Big Bang, not from
Not a problem.
Chaka.
But Big Bang, you need to bang someone or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't bang the air. Yes.
Yeah.
So what is this thing that you bang? Is something. Yes. Something is something that composed of two.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you
What
do you
brought
blow?
about the thing too?
What
Yeah.
do you blow? What do you blow?
Yeah.
This is a physical thing that happened, yes?
Yes.
So something that brought this Big Bang must be either something, then it's not the original,
Yeah.
because it must be composing of two, and the original must be nothing.
Yeah. I see. I see. Yeah.
So it's quite simple.
Amazing. Okay. So you have this Chakachuka spirit, Kiki, whatever we want to call it.
Whatever, there's many
And
names.
it has
People call
this-
it spirit, people calling it aloud, people calling it the source of life. Every primitive society knew that there is something like that. As we become more and more stupidify with the believing that everything is mechanical, we actually forgot that there is something that bring about the something. Yes, there's nothing that bring about the something.
Right.
So even the stupid primitive society knew about the nothing that bring about something.
Yeah.
And even if you are not religious, if you go to any religious book, you'll see that God, whoever God is, said there's nothing that brings something from nothing to something. That's the concept, and that's the only concept that actually feasible. And once you do that, you'll see that, of course, anything that we have here comes from an idea. An idea is nothing.
Right.
Even an iPhone, someone had an idea, and that's why we have an iPhone.
Right. Yes. Amazing. Okay.
So anything, any idea anything is used to be an idea.
Right.
Any physical thing used to be a nothing. It's not difficult to understand that before the iPhone, there was nothing, no iPhone.
Yeah.
Someone came up with the idea, and he brought about iPhone.
Yes, 100%. Okay, so the idea brings about something.
Yes.
Creation is the idea of nothing to something, right? Now you have this concept of telepathy, and you have this something, which we call it the spirit, gives the command to the brain moves the hand. So what is telepathy? It's that spiritual command that moves the hand.
So actually what happened is like that. So the spirit controlled the body and the physical universe by communicating with the different parts of the body through entities. So you've got entities which we can call them sub-spirits.
Yeah.
And the sub-spirit create a whole organization that run the billion cells of the body, and it gives a command to those sub-spirit. And obviously there's no line connecting to them because a spirit is a nothingness.
Yeah.
And a sub-spirit is still a nothingness. It's a degraded being, but it's still a nothingness. And that thing give a command to a specific thing, a specific cell, and it actually has the ability to generate those commands to the cell, to generate a command to the brain, to generate the commands. And when one or more of those being or entities is not in a good condition, what you get sickness. So the only communication that there is actually a telepathic communication, and all the words and everything we say is what's nothing, and it will bring zero duplication if the condition of the spirit is not in a good condition, if it cannot do telepathic communication. And you can see that as people go, they can say the words, but there will be no understanding. Or you can tell them the words, but there is no understanding because the condition of the spirit is low. When someone is really low, Spiritually, you see that he does not understand the words. The words are the same words, but he does not understand them, because what me and you understand is not the words. We agree that it is the word because we have a physical communication agreement. But what actually bring the, the execution is the intention.
Yeah.
This intention that you put as a spirit. If you play guitar, if you dance, if you do any kind of art, you see that actually what causes the emotion on the other side is the telepathy power of the artist, is not the chord, because five people can play the same chords and it does not move your heart.
Yeah.
And what move your heart, what get you, is this telepathic communication. That's what makes the difference.
100%. And by the way, amazing. That was amazing.
Thank you.
I remember that I first really realized that in high school. We were doing Shakespeare, a Shakespeare play. Now, yes, we as the actors had to fully understand the script in order to memorize it and then to be able to say it like it's our own. So we understood what we were saying. And because of that, even if the audience didn't sit with a dictionary like we did, they got the entire message. They got the emotions. They got everything. It's Shakespeare. It's crazy words.
Yeah.
But it's the intention of the communication
Yeah.
that was what was drilled into us, is give the intention, say the words, whatever. But the point is, do you understand it to communicate it? And if so, that will bring effect on the receiving end.
Technically, you can see also that in electronics, you have the carrying wave, and you have the modulation, which is a wave that riding on the carrying wave. So the words is what's riding on the carrying wave.
Yes.
But the carrying wave is what get across the communication. The words are not really important.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the carrying wave. This is the thing that bring you together.
Right.
And when you close enough together, you understand. So telepathy is really this method of transferring ideas through no space. So you need to remove the space. You need to really able to share the same space in order to have telepathy. And since people specialize in what's wrong with other people, they specialize in creating barriers, space, so they lose or they mask the actual native ability, which is to communicate by telepathy.
Amazing.
Yep. Maybe we should read the
Yes,
comments.
absolutely. So, hi, Natasha here. Everything looks good. Hi. Of course, the Goosens are here. I haven't come alone. Yes. And okay, Margaret and Shaked is here.
Shaked say
and
Anak.
Anak, yes,
Anak
amazing.
is amazing.
Yeah,
yes.
amazing. And he said, I have unbelievable telepathy with my mom. Incredible.
wow.
Yes. And Margaret, great explanation. True.
Thank you.
And Rushina said, what if we are programmed to survive and all our actions automatically come from that impulse?
Okay, so let's say survive. What does it mean, survive? So survive means to go towards death, towards dying,
Right.
because everything that survive basically going to, oh, let's die.
Yes. Yes.
So if you are programmed to survive, this you is a physical thing. Physical thing decline. Spiritual thing, they're not physical. They don't decline.
Yeah.
Only physical thing decline. You will see that many people can die and building can get destroyed and there could be wars, but the idea of democracy stay. Because the idea is not physical.
Yes.
So you can build the most strongest fortress of them all that no one or nothing can go into. But through some way, through someone that bring the food, through something, the idea will go through, and regardless of the size of the wall, idea goes through, because ideas transcend physicality.
Yeah.
Ideas are stronger than any weapon ever invented. And that's why you can take slaves and chain them at the biggest chain you can. They always cut the chain, because the idea of freedom is stronger than any chain.
100%.
So only if you believe, only if you've been deteriorated to a position where you think that you are a physical thing, then you don't realize that you're a spiritual thing.
Right.
And then you think that you survive and you die, and you really hope that you will not go to what you deserve.
Yes. Exactly. Amazing. Shaked, ha ha ha, bang. Yes, bang, and then a blow. Good job. Exactly. Yes. And Lorna said, great information. And yeah. And William said, how does one handle getting off course? The process of being willing to confront and take responsibility. If one is having a lot of inflow of perceptions they don't recognize, or disturbing pictures or other nonsense, how do you get back to confronting?
Okay, so generally, the basic idea, when you have something that you don't want to experience, something that you resist, it will persist.
Yes.
Okay, and what you need to do is to stop being an effect and start creating this thing. Let's say you have a picture of you crashing in a car. Now this is something that affecting you. Now if you will start and say, I want to have that picture, I want to create that picture, and you create this picture with as many disgusting details as you can, all of a sudden you'll see that you will gain control over the picture, and the picture will not just show up.
Yeah.
When a picture show up to you, when something hits you, it's mean I am an effect and you are cause. So all you have to do is to become cause over it. So what is it? I cannot sleep? Okay, good. I'm now not going to sleep. If you have problem sleeping, I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going to sleep. And if you tell to yourself, I'm not going to sleep, I'm not going to sleep, I'm not going to sleep. If I tell you, don't remember the number 4621, but don't remember 4621, I want you to make sure that you don't remember 4621. You'll never forget it. Because I made you cause over it. Don't remember it. 4621.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, perfect. William, I hope that answers it. If not, let us know. But that was an amazing answer.
Thank you.
Rushina, how many entities do we have in a body?
About 30 billion.
That's all. Yeah. And explain why.
Because basically almost every cell has an entity. And then there are some cells that are managing groups of entities, and it's much like an organization chart that you have managers and people that are doing work, etc., etc.
Amazing. Fantastic. And William also said, wow, thank you so much. Fantastic.
You're very welcome.
So back to this idea of creating duplication with no space, right? And then I want to touch upon also on reading minds, because
yes.
that's something that's interesting, I think, for many people. So you have this idea of duplication with no space. So for example, if I want to communicate to somebody, the idea that everybody would have is there is some space. That's why we're communicating. Like there's a distance right now between us, so we communicate, right? Or somebody's far away, you pick up the phone. How do you communicate with no space?
So the moment that you assume, so the spirit don't have location, the spirit don't have space, the spirit it's not an energy. The spirit is an energy producing unit. It's not an energy by itself.
Yeah.
Like a power plant is an energy producing unit. It's not an energy. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you really understand that the spirit do not have location, it means that you can assume any location. If you just decide now to be at the lower level of the house, you will know what's going on there. But you will immediately say,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
for a split of a second, you will know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Immediately, everything around you will tell you, no, don't know. You love your game so much, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
But if you will do that, you will see that you will know. And if you will see that in an extreme, in an emergency is a moment where you are willing to be in present time. What does it mean to be in present time? It means to be before time. So if this is the beginning and this is time, so time is actually what creating the past, and this is the future, and the future never happened.
Yeah.
Present time is not now. Present time is before the beginning, because before the beginning is now.
Yes.
For as long as you are within time, you are not in now. You are just in the past because everything changes all the time.
Yeah.
Regardless of how small the time that you divide, everything moves non-stop. There is not a clock that says second, second, second. It's actually moving continuously.
Right.
So because it's moving continuously, there is no present time. There's only past and postulated future. But there's no actual present time. Present time is the before time, is what bring about time.
Yes. Yes. Amazing.
So in order, if you can actually get away from your past at the moment of emergency, when the necessity level is very high, you stop relying on your past and you create the moment. You just know what to do. You just know. There's no time. You just know, and you act by telepathy alone. You just move the body with no delay. The body just do what it's supposed to do, which is to be your slave, not you being the slave of the body.
100%. So how do you practice that on two simple examples? One, the body, okay, and how which I think you sort of mentioned, which is just start moving him instantly. But how do you do it on a lower, easy step? And secondly, how do you do that with like a girlfriend or a wife or a friend?
With the body, what you will do is, let's say you have a problem with a part of the body, and you just start to communicate to the body. You just say, "Hey, hello, elbow." It sounds weird, but you tell the elbow hello, and you expect the elbow, the entity in the elbow, to answer you. Okay. You just expect, and then you tell the entity, "Hey, tell me hello," and the entity tells you hello, and you tell the entity, "Okay," and you start to communicate with the body. And it's not important what you communicate. You can say, "Good to see you," and you get the entity to tell you, "Thank you," and you get the entity to tell me, "Good to see you," and I say, "Okay."
Yeah, amazing. And that's all out loud.
It's out loud, or you can do that in your mind. You communicate with the body. I had many years ago, I had a karate instructor that smashed his hand, like totally smashed. All this thing got smashed, and the doctor told him that he will have to have a reconstruction surgery to fix the hand, and he will never be able to use it properly, etc. And he just sat for 6 months every night, and he just communicated with the entities in the hand. He didn't know that it's entity or something. He just had the idea that he needs to communicate to the hand, and he communicated to the hand, and he envisioned small people there going and fixing the hand, and the hand reconstructed itself to perfect condition. And the doctor said that it cannot be, that it's not possible, but he knew that it's possible. He was then 6 or something like that, a person that really understands that the body is just the result of the spirit and not the opposite. And he reconstructed the hand.
Wow.
From total mess to 100% perfectly operating hand without even scars.
Wow. That's amazing. It's a great example as well. Okay, so that's the first thing. And now, so you can start that on your body, and that's actually telepathically, right? At the beginning, you can do it verbally, and eventually it becomes a telepathic communication.
Yeah, it is. It's actually, even if you verbalize it, it's telepathically. There is no other communication. Communication do not occur without telepathy. You're just not admitting it. You don't know it, so you deteriorate your communication over the years.
I see.
But if you do know it, you will see that you'll have 100% confidence and certainty that the message will arrive.
Yeah, I see.
And the more you're sure that the message will arrive, the more it arrives. Because telepathy is what actually happening. The sound effect is the sound effect that we make.
I see.
The truth is that what's happening behind the curtain is telepathy.
I see. Amazing. Okay, perfect. So that's on the body. How do you start practicing that or noticing that with a friend or a loved one? And you think, I want to develop a closer relationship where it's more telepathic. How do you do that?
So the first thing that you do, you find what you're hiding from these people that you're not willing to communicate with.
I see, because that will stop.
because that's you don't want them to find out. And if there's telepathic communication and you're hiding something, this is the worst thing that can happen to you.
Yeah, I see.
Imagine your wife read your WhatsApp messages that you don't want her to read.
Yeah.
That's not so bad than if she can read your mind.
Yeah, yeah,
That
I
would
see.
be really, really bad. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So the first thing, you need to remove what you're hiding. For as long as you hide something, there will be no telepathic communication. There will be, but you will not be aware of it. You will not admit it.
I see.
So you will change it. You will see that when two people love each other, the obvious thing that happen is they know what's happened with the other side. They just know. They just know.
Yeah.
They just know that you can cause a person to do things. And if they're aware enough, they will realize, 1 second, I did not give, I just got this command from you. I just got it. Was that you? Yeah. Thank you for receiving it.
Yeah, I see.
A person can be asleep, totally asleep, 100%, and you can wake them up and they can do things just like that, totally, boom.
Yeah.
And if they're not asleep in their life, if they're not walking dead, they will realize, okay, fine.
I see.
But you need to have clean hands, because if you are hiding, there will not be communication.
I see. Yeah, I see. And in speaking about sleeping dead or walking dead, right? Most people are. It's just most people are sleeping. I mean, people that are listening to this are very aware and are understanding these concepts and are wanting to develop. But the average person, right? So the idea is to just get more people to be in touch with this knowledge. But how does the average person, let alone telepathy, which is a higher level, how do they wake somebody up to get their friends on board?
So the first thing that you need to know is that the person knows. Even if he doesn't tell you that he knows, the spirit is this thing that knows. It has the ability to recognize truth.
So you need to know that they know.
You need to know that they know.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you know that they're stupid.
Yeah, that's all your attention goes to.
That's you find what's wrong.
Yes.
And while it's true, it's not workable because it takes you and them down.
Right.
So you need to be big enough to, despite the fact that everything tells you that they're stupid, you need to know that they know. Now, if you know that they know, you'll see that if I totally trust you, somehow you will understand me better than if I don't trust you.
Yeah.
The same thing happened here. If I know that you know, somehow you will be willing to telepathically communicate with me just because you know that I know that you know.
Yeah.
It happens a lot
see.
with babies. You go to babies and you tell them, move your hand, and they are like, they don't understand. And you tell them, look, I know that you know. I know. I know that you know. I know that you know how to move the hand. And they say, okay, fine, I'll move the hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I demonstrate it many times.
Yes.
So they know. They know. The spirit knows. The words is just sound effect.
Yeah, I like
Literally sound effect.
I like that a lot. Okay, great.
Let's look at the comments.
Absolutely. So, Amit, wow, amazing mayor and Gal. Thank you very much,
you.
Amit. And
Thank
hi. Dustin said, I can't wait to master this skill. It's going to be a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's going to be drilled at the next live seminar.
Yes.
Absolutely. Margaret, hello, Shaked. Amazing from Facebook user, similar to how I healed my hip, which included your help. Amazing. Yeah. And this and the Cali replays going to be available. I have a meeting now. Oh, are this? Yes. This is all available on our YouTube replays. And by the way, all of this gets transformed into an audio only podcast.
Yeah.
So if you like podcasts and you want to listen to this and you have any podcast platform, you can.
Yeah.
Ashley said, yes, because she, of course, saw you doing that with Callie. And and then I read your comment now, Ashley. I definitely saw you do this, and now I did it with Callie. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
She does it with her.
Yeah, that's amazing. And Susanna said, I often have people call me telepathically. Is this common in people? I have done this for years.
It's common for special people.
Yeah.
It's very common between special people, between aware people that have generally clean hands will have it automatically. Most children have it until the parents destroy it.
Yeah.
Children are generally the only good thing that their parents can do for his children is to make them self confident. So when a parent start invalidating the child and take from them their own determinism, what happens is the child start to doubt himself. And what does he doubt? He doubt that he knows. But the child know. The fact that he has small body do not mean that he doesn't know. The child know because the child is a spirit with a small body, but a spirit, and the spirit don't care if the body is big or small.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. That's incredible. And Angel said, amazing. Wow. Yeah, incredible. By the way, with children, you do see them playing and doing things telepathically, even if they're playing with action figures. I remember when I played with action figures, there was a ton of communication going on telepathically.
Yeah.
Or you see kids playing together and they're not always talking, but they're all on the same page.
I saw children that, especially with us, that will come from different languages. And you put small children from different languages, not a problem. Total communication, 100%. They don't need to understand the language.
Yeah.
They understand.
Yeah, true.
They understand. Like I remember, I took you and I. We had some children that came from Mexico, and they spoke Spanish, and you didn't speak any Spanish, and total communication, 100%, not a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
It's only when the parents start to get involved, they tell you, no, you're not supposed to know.
Yes.
Then you stop knowing.
Yeah, yeah. Or in advance, they tell you, look, you're not going to understand them.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because they love the parents so much, so they agreed. Say, okay, fine, I'll play stupid for you.
Yeah, yeah. Dustin, Ashley also 100% did this with me and got me to the last seminar. Yes, exactly. And Frida said, yes.
Yeah.
Great. So final point here is reading minds. Now, I've seen you reading minds. And you do that, and two things. Number one, people think, oh my God, just don't read my mind. But number two, everybody thinks, so how do you do that? Like, I've seen you talking to somebody and you'll tell them, oh, that happened. You're thinking of a yellow room. And the person's like, how do you know? That was my childhood room. Whatever, right? You have these examples that you see see pictures, read minds. How do you do that? What's going on there? What's the mechanism? And how does that connect with telepathy?
Okay, so all communication happened by telepathy.
Yes.
When you look at your mind, if we agree that we communicate, I will get the telepathic message.
What if somebody doesn't want you to get it?
Then I will see it more.
I see.
Because if you don't want to look at something, you will look at it a lot to make sure that what does it mean resist? To hold close in order to avoid.
Yeah, yeah.
So what do you remember? What you don't want to remember?
Yeah, exactly. True, 100%.
So the more the person resists, the easier it is actually to see what's going on with him. And there is a whole method on how to do that, etc. But it's really quite simple because everyone have it automatically. So what you need to do is to put wipers, to clean the noise and the dirt. And once you move the dirt, of course you can see. It's nothing.
I see. Okay. And so should people have this thing of being, I remember that people that have seen you read minds, later they'll talk to me and they'll be like, I'm just worried that he's going to read my mind.
I'm not.
So that's the question, right? So is everybody that meets you is going to be like, oh my God, he knows my deepest, darkest secrets.
Yeah.
What's your response to that?
First of all, you don't do that because there is an agreement that you don't do it. And if I violate the agreement, then I will lose that ability. That's how you lose any ability, by violating an agreement that you had.
I see. Okay.
So you will not do that.
Yeah.
And the problem is not reading the mind. The problem is that most people want you to read their mind because they don't want to take responsibility.
Oh, I see. So they
want you to give them the answer, and they want you to confront the picture. So you will evaluate. They don't have to confront, and they can confront what you're saying, but not what they have to look at.
Yeah, I see.
So the problem is usually the opposite, that people want you to read their mind. They're screaming.
I see.
And I have to tell them, enough.
Handle it yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see.
Most people tell me all the time, look, I want you to look into my mind. And I said, no, you need to confront it.
Yeah, I see. And now I've definitely had instances where I totally picked up on somebody's thing that they're looking at their picture, and I see that, right? How does the average person recognize themselves doing that, number one, or work on that to be able to do that
So
more?
how do you recognize is by not invalidating what you know.
Okay.
And how do you work on it? Decide that you don't want to see minds.
Decide that you don't want to. Okay.
Yeah. Make
And
sure I'm not looking. Make sure you're not looking. And then whatever comes up, don't invalidate it.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing, I think, because people, I think, throughout life, and probably it gets worse and worse as you get older, you have put more and more times to yourself that you've said that's not true. So I think the key here is you'll get these moments where that was for sure it, but you will instantly in the same breath say, but it wasn't.
But I know it's not. Well,
Yeah.
when you say I know it's not, you're just putting a cement on top of your abilities.
Yeah, I see. Okay, that's incredible. That's a simple, quick
Yeah.
answer. Amazing.
Everything
Amazing.
that is true is simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very, very, very powerful.
Last comments?
Yes. So Ashley responded to Dustin saying, ha ha ha, dream stalking. Yes, because they saw they were in each other's dreams, and that's it so far.
Okay,
So assuming there's no other questions from anyone else, you're welcome to still type it, by the way, and we'll get to it if we can. This was amazing.
Thank you, Babale.
Yes, this was
You
really
are amazing.
Mwah. So the one thing I want to talk about is that we're going to start doing the relationships
Yes.
live seminar,
Yes.
which will also be streamed for those that are not here.
Yes.
So not this Friday, but the following Friday, October the 6th, where he's going to be doing a 3-hour seminar live in Cape Town.
Yeah.
For a crazy low price of like 200 Rand, right? Which is
Like nothing.
nothing. Okay. So it's just
200 Rand in dollars is
$8.
wow.
Yeah. We're reconsidering the price as we're talking.
$8, like the transfer fee will be more than $8.
Yeah, exactly. Like
The bank fee is more than $8.
they're not paying him minimum wage. Go
Yeah.
work at McDonald's. It'll be more worth your while. Yeah, unbelievable. So it's going to be
for new people.
Yeah, it's really for new people.
If you have friends and family that and existing people, of course, will get
Yeah.
much more. But for new people, it will be very, 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 very low gradient,
Yeah,
but powerful. Low gradient do not mean not powerful. Extremely low gradient, but it is an opening to get people to realize what's actually going on this planet. If you have someone that you really love and that you think that they need to improve their life or they want to improve their life, two things. If they need to improve their life, but they don't know they need to improve their life, don't push them. Because the more you push them, the more you push them away. What you can do is ask them, what do you want to improve? And once you find what they really want to improve, not what they tell you, what they really want to improve. So you ask them, what do you want to improve? And they say, well, I want to improve the relationship between me and my wife. And you say, okay, fine. So from 1 to 10, how important it is? 2.
yeah,
Okay, so what is 10?
yes,
Yes, even if they tell you 7. So what is 10? You need to find this 10, this thing that I have to fix it. If not, I'm dead.
yeah,
Only once you find what the person really want to improve, only then you can offer him a solution. Don't explain how. Just tell him that there is a way, that he should come to the seminar, and what he will find there will help him.
yeah,
So don't fall into the trap of pushing someone. Yeah, you need to go to listen to this thing, because it doesn't. It's not true. If it's
yeah.
not
For them, they don't need to.
for them, they don't need to. If they don't know anything about it, they don't need to. You're lying to them
Yeah,
from their viewpoint. Yes.
yeah,
So don't do that. The only thing that you can do to help the person is actually find out what's really a real problem for him. And then don't explain how to fix it, but explain to him that there is a way to fix it. And if he wants, he can come and learn by himself.
Yeah, I see. So just before, I'll read the comments in a sec, but how does that, so you were on the train of thought about this next Friday seminar, right?
Yeah.
So you said two things. One, they either need to improve and they
Yeah.
know they need to.
Then you can present it to them, and
yeah.
if not, don't find out what is the ruin
Got it. Okay.
before you actually pushing them and want to help them, because you will want to help everyone.
Yeah.
They're not ready to be helped.
Yeah, I see. Okay, good. Now I'm sorry because there's no link for you today, but as of tomorrow, you will be able to sign up for it. It'll be gprosperity.com/relationships. We'll have a bunch of promo about it. You'll see it. But the whole idea in a nutshell is relationships and how to calm the storm, because relationships can be a storm, how to calm the storm, which affects your health, your wealth, your
Happiness.
success, your happiness, everything, because that's what relationships is the key to health, happiness, and wealth. Yeah. Good. So that's for you to know. Couple more things here.
Yes.
William, how do I thoroughly understand the subject of havingness? Where do you cover it?
Okay, we will definitely cover it in the seminar. And in the seminar, the wonderful thing is that you can ask any question, and we have enough time to explain it. And I have a whiteboard to draw, and we're going step by step. So seriously, in those seminars, you can ask anything. Anything. You can ask me about aliens. You can ask me about quantum physics. You can ask me about electronics. You can ask me about the operation of the cells. You can ask me about the genome. You can ask me about any question, and you'll get an answer that you did not expect, but will change your life.
Amazing. Now, if you're in Cape Town, it's live. If you're not, it's online. And even if you're online, I'll be personally there to run the chat. So all good. I'll definitely get to your questions. And then, wow, from Margaret, Shaked, 10 give it to me. Yeah. And then Dustin said, don't forget, even if they don't think they need to improve anything, maybe they want to help others that they think they need to improve. Well, your webinars and seminars are the place to learn how to also help others improve.
Yeah,
absolutely. You will improve yourself to help others. This was amazing.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone that was on. I love you too.
I love you, Baba.
Thank you, everyone. This was great. Share.
We'll see you next week.
Yes, next week, Tuesday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.